She smiled when you gave her everything, didn't she? Your time, your focus, your heart. And still, one day she went cold, like nothing you did ever mattered. That's the moment most men break. They think loyalty is earned through sacrifice. But women aren't loyal to your effort. They're loyal to what they feel when they're around you. Like and subscribe if you're done confusing devotion with dependence. A woman follows strength, not service. She senses power in silence, not in apology. You could build her a castle, and she'd still leave if she no longer feels the pull of your presence. This is the part men refuse to see. You don't keep her by giving more. You keep her by being more centered, more unshaken, more indifferent to her approval. So ask yourself quietly, if she stopped needing you tomorrow, would she still want you today? Point number 1, the loyalty illusion. What do you think her loyalty meant? That she'd stay because you gave more, tried harder, waited longer, or because she once said she loved you? You stood in front of the mirror after she left, didn't you? Gym lights humming, phone dark, her last message still sitting in your mind. You replayed every moment, every gift, every text, every apology. And still, you couldn't find the line where it all slipped. Seneca once said, "He suffers more than necessary. Who suffers before it is necessary?" You made her loyalty your anchor, and it dragged you under. In the old world, men built empires and still slept with their swords by the door. They knew loyalty was a moment, not a promise. A woman could share your fire tonight and walk into the cold by morning. Modern men forgot that. They beg for permanence in a world built on motion. They confuse comfort with connection. You gave her stability, but not the feeling of being moved. And when that feeling dies, she looks elsewhere for it. This is where most men collapse. They start chasing her shadow, performing loyalty while demanding it in return. But you can't make someone loyal by proving your worth. You can only stand so firmly in your own value that her betrayal means nothing. When she leaves, you don't chase. You let silence answer for you. You watch her loyalty shift to whatever power she feels next. And you learn. Train your indifference. Ask yourself, was it her loyalty you wanted? Or was it your own weakness you were trying to hide behind it? Because the man who needs her loyalty has already lost his own, and the one who stands without needing it becomes the gravity she remembers long after she's gone. But this is only the beginning, because once you see through the illusion of loyalty, the next truth cuts deeper. It's not that your effort failed, it's that it was never what she wanted. Point number 2, when effort fails. How many times did you think, if I just try harder, she'll see? How many nights did you stare at your phone waiting for her to care again? You planned dates. You listened. You gave her your time, your focus, your peace. And still she drifted, slowly, silently, like you were never enough. That's when most men break. They think effort equals worth. But effort without presence is noise. It looks like desperation wrapped in kindness. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." You kept trying to prove your value instead of living it. In the old world, a man's work spoke louder than his words. He built, he conquered, he protected, but he didn't beg for recognition. He understood that effort means nothing when it comes from need. Today, men confuse doing with becoming. They chase validation from women instead of respect from themselves. You think she'll love you for your sacrifice, but she only feels your emptiness. Every good morning text, every extra favor, every apology, it's not affection she hears, it's fear. You can't make someone stay through proof. You make them stay through presence. Stillness has more power than pursuit. When you stop chasing, she starts noticing. Let your silence speak louder than your effort. Hold your center. Do not explain. Do not fix. Do not chase. Train your restraint. Ask yourself, are you giving because you choose to? Or because you're afraid of losing her? Because when effort fails, the truth appears. She was never drawn to what you gave, but to who you were before you started trying. And that's the lesson most men ignore. You don't win her back through action. You reclaim yourself through stillness. But once you stop trying, another test begins. Because silence is power, and power always exposes who was really loyal to you. Point number 3, power over presence. When did you forget what power feels like? Not control over her, but control over yourself. The kind that doesn't need to speak, explain, or prove. You used to have it once. Before you started overthinking every message. Before you measured your worth by her reactions. Now, you wait for validation instead of commanding it. You can tell yourself it's love, but deep down, you know it's fear. Fear of losing the one thing that once made you feel alive. Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." That's power. Not noise, not anger, not performance. Stillness. In ancient times, power meant presence. A man walked into a room and others felt it before he spoke. He didn't chase energy. He became the source of it. The same principle hasn't changed. Women still respond to presence more than promise. They feel it before they understand it. Today, men confuse being loud with being strong. They talk too much, text too much, reveal too much. They think power is in action, but power lives in restraint. It's in your tone when you say less. It's in your posture when you stop explaining yourself. It's in the calm stare that tells her she's free to leave, and you'll still be fine. When you stop seeking control over others, you gain control over yourself, and that quiet dominance shifts everything. She senses that your world no longer revolves around her, and that's when she starts to orbit you again. Train your stillness. Ask yourself, when she looks at you, does she feel your power or your panic? Because presence without power is decoration, and power without presence is emptiness. You need both to hold respect, to command attraction, to stay unshaken. But when presence returns, temptation follows. That's when you'll face the hardest test, staying grounded when she finally comes back. Point number 4, the pull she can't resist. Have you ever wondered why some men barely try yet women never forget them? They don't chase, they don't convince, they don't plead. They just exist with a calm certainty that draws her in like gravity. You've seen it. The way she leans closer when he says less. The way her tone softens when he looks through her instead of at her. It's not luck, it's energy. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." The man she can't resist carries thoughts rooted in strength, not scarcity. He doesn't seek approval. He radiates direction. In the ancient world, men didn't perform for women. They lived by order, by discipline, by purpose. That structure became their magnet. Even now, the same rule applies. You don't attract by trying, you attract by being. Most men lose the pull because they chase what should be drawn. They break their frame. They fold under her silence. Every text, every apology, every explanation drains the charge that once held her attention. The pull she can't resist isn't about words. It's about weight. The emotional weight of a man who doesn't need her to validate his worth. Who looks at her not as a prize, but as a choice. She feels that difference instantly. It's ancient. It's primal. When you stop chasing, you create space. When you hold that space, she fills it. And when she fills it, the pull begins again. Train your gravity. Ask yourself, does she move toward you because you're powerful, or because you're afraid to let her go? Because true pull isn't about control. It's about presence that commands without effort. Calm that tempts without intention. And once you master that presence, something deeper awakens. Because when she can't resist you anymore, the real question isn't if she'll return. It's whether you still want her when she does. Every man watching this knows that moment, the one where effort, loyalty and words all fall short. That's where strength begins. Not in chasing, not in convincing, but in learning to stand still while everything else moves. If this message hits something in you, it means you're already on the path. Because awareness is the first sign of growth. You start seeing that power doesn't come from what you give away, it comes from what you choose to keep. Thank you for being here, for watching, for thinking deeper than most ever will. This channel isn't just about stoicism or relationships. It's about building men who live with calm power, quiet confidence, and emotional control. If you found value in this, subscribe and like the video. Not because I asked, but because it helps bring more men like you into this space. And if something in this video hit home, share your thoughts in the comments. Your words might be what another man needs to hear today. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.